Welcome in Education Success. Today we will discuss MCQs on statistical data analysis. Which data analysis allows the execution of statistical operations using quantitative approaches? Options are A. Statistical, B. Predictive, C. Descriptive, D. None of the above. Correct answer is statistical. Statistical data analysis allows the execution of statistical operations using the quantitative approaches. Which type of statistics allows conclusion to be drawn about population based on sample? Options are A. Descriptive, B. Inferential, C. Hypothesis testing, D. None of the mentioned. Correct answer is inferential. The main aim of inferential statistics is to draw some conclusions from the sample and generalize them for the population data. The ways to measure central tendency includes options are A. Mean, B. Median, C. Mode, D. All of the mentioned. Correct answer is all of the mentioned. Central tendency can be measured by mean, mode and median. Which of the following is not a measure of central tendency? Options are A. Mean, B. Mode, C. Variance, D. Median. Correct answer is variance. Central tendency can be measured by mean, mode and median. Hence, variance is not a measure of central tendency. Which following is not type of mean? Options are A. Arithmetic, B. Geometric, C. Central, D. Harmonic. Correct answer is central. Types of mean are arithmetic mean, harmonic mean and geometric mean. So, central mean is not a type of mean. The 15th percentile value of data is called as. Options are A. Mean, B. Median, C. Mode, D. Variance. Correct answer is median. Median is the middle value of data. It is the value that separates the higher half of a data set from the lower half. It splits the data in the half and also called 15th percentile. Now consider an example with values 2, 6, 3, 6, 10, 12, 8, 6, 1, 8 and 15. The median of the data is options are A 6, B 7, C 8, D 12. Correct answer is 6. To calculate the median, we first arrange the numbers in increasing order. So the numbers are like 1, 2, 3, 6, 6, 6, 8, 8, 10, 12, 15. If the number of elements in the data set is odd, the middle element is the median. If the number of elements in the data set is even, the median will be average of two central elements. Here, total 11 numbers. Hence, the middle element, that is the sixth element in the example, is the median. So, the correct answer is 6. Now, consider an example with the values 2, 6, 3, 6, 10, 12, 8, 6, 1, 8, 15. The mode of the data is options are A 6, B 7, C 8, D 12. Correct answer is 6. Here 6 occurs maximum times in the example. Hence mode of the given data is 6. The dispersion of data values can be measured. Options are A. Range, B. Standard deviation, C. Variance, D. All of the mentioned. Correct answer is all of the mentioned. The dispersion of data values can be measured by range, interquartile range, standard deviation and variance. Dispersion can be measured by options are A. Mean, B. Mode, C. Range, D. Median. Correct answer is range. Range is the simplest measure of the dispersion. Dispersion can be measured by range. Next question is the difference between the largest and the smallest numbers in a series of numbers defines. Options are A. Range, B. Standard deviation, C. Variance, D. Harmonic mean. Correct answer is range. The difference between the largest and the smallest number in a series of numbers defines the range. Next question. A researcher has collected the sample data 3, 5, 12, 3, 2. The mean of the sample data is 5. The range is. Options are A 1, B 2, C 10, D 12. Correct answer is 10. The range is the difference between the largest and the smallest numbers in a series of numbers. In this example, we will arrange the numbers in ascending order like 2, 3, 3, 5, 12. Hence, the range is difference between largest number and smallest number. That is 12 minus 2 is equal to 10. Hence, the range is 10. Interquartile range is a measure of. Options are A. Frequency, B. Central tendency, C. Dispersion, D. Variance. Correct answer is dispersion. Interquartile range is a measure of dispersion. Which range is calculated by finding the difference between the third quartile and the first quartile? Options are A. Interquartile, B. Middle quartile, C. Mean quartile, D. Mode quartile. Correct answer is interquartile. The difference between the third quartile and the first quartile is the interquartile. The IQR is calculated as. Options are A. Max minus mean, B. Q3 minus Q1, C. Q2 minus Q1, D. Q3 minus Q2. The correct answer is Q3 minus Q1. The difference between the third quartile and the first quartile is the interquartile, that is IQR. It is measured by difference between the third and first quartile. So correct answer is Q3 minus Q1. Consider the example with the values 2, 6, 3, 6, 10, 12, 8, 6, 1, 8, 15. The IQR of the data is. Options are A 6, B 7, C 8, D 12. Correct answer is 7. To calculate the IQR, find the median of the data, that is Q2. The median divides the set into two halves. Find the median of the lower half, that is Q1, and find the median of upper half, that is Q3. Now IQR is calculated by Q3 minus Q1. Hence we are calculating the first median. So here in the example, median is 6. We are arranging the numbers as ascending in a sequence 1, 2, 3, 6, 6, 6, 8, 8, 10, 12, 15. So median is the sixth value. Now we are calculating the Q1. We are finding the Q1 and Q3. Here Q1 is third value, that is the 3, and Q3 is 10. So IQR is calculated 10 minus 3, that is the 7. Which of the following is a measure of dispersion? Options are A. Mean, B. Mode, C. Standard deviation, D. Median. Correct answer is standard deviation. The measure of dispersion is range, interquartile range, standard deviation and variance. The numerical value of the standard deviation can never be. Options are A 0, B negative, C 1, D 10. Correct answer is negative. The numerical value of the standard deviation can never be negative. A statement made about a population for the purpose of testing is called. Options are A statistics, B hypothesis, C level of significance, D probability. Correct answer is hypothesis. A statement made about a population for the purpose of testing is called as hypothesis. Which testing is used to check whether a stated hypothesis is accepted or rejected? Options are A hypothesis, B variance, C range, D interquartile. Correct answer is hypothesis. Hypothesis testing is used to check whether a stated hypothesis is accepted or rejected. Which of the following is not an example of hypothesis? Options are A. People who take vitamins are healthier than people who do not. B. Increased marketing will not improve the sales. C. An academic year has 2 semesters. D. Employee are not affected temperature in an office. Correct answer is an academic year has 2 semesters. Next question, if we reject the null hypothesis when it is true, we might be making options are A. Type 1 error, B. Type 2 error, C. Both type 1 error and type 2 error, D. No error. Correct answer is type 1 error. If we reject the null hypothesis when it is true, it is type 1 error. Next question, type 1 error occurs when? Options are A. We accept the null hypothesis when it is true. Option B. We reject the null hypothesis when it is false. C. We accept the null hypothesis when it is false. And D. We reject the null hypothesis when it is true. Correct answer is D. We reject the null hypothesis when it is true. If we reject the null hypothesis when it is true, it is a type 1 error. Next question, type 2 error occurs when? Options are A. We accept the null hypothesis when it is true. Option B. We reject the null hypothesis when it is false. C. We accept the null hypothesis when it is false. And D. We reject the null hypothesis when it is true. The correct answer is C. We accept the null hypothesis when it is false. If we accept the null hypothesis when it is false, it is a type 2 error. Which of the following is true? Options are A. If the value of test of significance is less than alpha, then we reject the null hypothesis and reject the alternate hypothesis. B. If the value of test of significance is less than alpha, then we accept the null hypothesis and reject the alternate hypothesis. C. If the value of test of significance is less than alpha, then we reject the null hypothesis and accept the alternate hypothesis. Option D. If value of test of significance is less than alpha, then we accept the null hypothesis and accept the alternate hypothesis. Correct answer is if the value of test of significance is less than alpha, then we reject the null hypothesis and accept the alternate hypothesis. Next question, which of the following p-values will lead us to reject the null hypothesis if the significance level is 5%? Options are A. 0.15, B. 0.1, C. 0.06, D. 0.025. Correct answer is 0.025. In this example, if p-value is less than the given significance level of 5%, that is 0.05, then we reject the null hypothesis. In the given options, 0.025 is less than 0.05, hence it has to reject. Next question, consider a hypothesis where H0 is 23 and H1 is less than 23. The test is, options are A. Right-tailed, B. Left-tailed, C. Two-tailed, D. Cross-tailed. Correct answer is left-tailed. Here H1 has less than sign, hence it is left-tailed. The Z test uses dash statistics of the sample. Options are A. Mean, B. Mode, C. Median, D. IQR. Correct answer is mean. In the formula of Z test, we use mean and standard deviation. Which parametric test can be used for the categorical variables? Options are A. Z test, B. T test, C. chi-square test, D. ANOVA. Correct answer is chi-square. Z test, T test and ANOVA tests are used for quantitative data, whereas chi-square is used for categorical variables. Which test is a statistical method to determine if two categorical variables have a significant correlation between them? Options are A. T test, B. chi-square, C. Z test, D. ANOVA. Correct answer is chi-square. Z test, T test and ANOVA tests are used for quantitative data, whereas chi-square is used for categorical variables. Which t-test is used to determine whether a sample mean is statistically different from a known population mean? Options are A. One sample, B. Paired, C. Two sample, D. None of the mention. Correct answer is one sample. In this example, only one sample is compared with the population mean. Hence, it is an example of one sample test. Next question, ANOVA stands for. Options are A. Analysis of variance, B. Analysis of variability, C. Asymmetry of variables, D. Asymmetry of variance. Correct answer is analysis of variance. ANOVA stands for analysis of variance. Which of the following is an extension of t-test? Options are A. Z-test, B. t-test, C. chi-square test, D. ANOVA. Correct answer is ANOVA. ANOVA is an extension of t-test, which is a statistical inference test that lets us to compare multiple groups at the same time. Options are A. Analysis of variance, that is ANOVA, B. t-test, C. Z-test, D. all of the mentioned. Correct answer is analysis of variance, that is ANOVA. ANOVA is a statistical inference test that lets us to compare multiple groups at the same time. Which of the following is used for multiple hypothesis tests at the same time? Options are A. Z-test, B. T-test, C. chi-square test, D. ANOVA. Correct answer is ANOVA. T-test is used for one sample and two samples. ANOVA is an extension of t-test which is used for more than two variables or two samples, which may indicate an experimental error or it may be due to variability in the measurement. Options are A. Outlier, B. Variance, C. Range, D. Standard deviation. Correct answer is outlier. An outlier is a data point that differs significantly from other observations. Outlier is a data object that varies significantly from the rest of the data object and behaves in a different manner. It indicates an experimental error or it may be due to variability in the measurement. Which of the following is not a type of outlier? Options are A. Central, B. Global, C. Contextual, D. Collective. Correct answer is central. Outliers are classified into three types: global outlier, contextual outlier, and collective outlier. Global outlier is also called as point anomalies. Contextual outlier, also known as conditional outlier, and third one is the collective outlier. So here central outlier is not a type of outlier. Next question, a dash outlier is a data point that strongly deviates from all the rest of the data points. Options are A. Global, B. Contextual, C. Collective, D. None of the mentioned. Correct answer is global. If a data point strongly deviates from all rest of the data points in a data set, it is known as global outlier or point anomalies. Next question, if an individual data point can be considered anomalous with respect to the rest of the data, then the data is the term as. Options are A. Point outlier, B. Contextual outlier, C. Collective outlier, D. all of the mentioned. Correct answer is point outlier. If an individual data point can be considered anomalous with respect to rest of the data, then the data is termed as a point outlier or global outlier. Next question is the probability of rejecting the null hypothesis when it is true, denoted by. Options are A. Critical region, B. Calculated probability P, C. Significance level alpha, D. 1 or 2 tail test. Correct answer is significance level alpha. The probability of rejecting the null hypothesis when it is true is denoted by the significance level alpha. Next question, for one-way ANOVA, the dash statistic is used. Options are A. Significance value alpha, B. Calculated probability, C. PF statistic, D. IQR. Correct answer is PF statistic. For one-way ANOVA, the PF statistic is used. Which method uses a 2x2 contingency table to calculate dissimilarity? Options are A. Binary attributes, B. Ordinal attributes. C. Numeric attributes. D. Nominal attributes. Correct answer is binary attributes. Binary attributes uses a 2 by 2 contingency table to calculate dissimilarity. Next question. A binary attribute has only one of two states. Options are A. 0, B. 1, C. Both 0 and 1, D. None of the mentioned. Correct answer is both 0 and 1. A binary attribute has only one of two states, 0 and 1. To get more videos on any topic, kindly like, share and subscribe the channel. Don't forget to write the comment if you like the channel. Next question is, distance measures such as Euclidean, Manhattan, etc. can be applied on which type to calculate dissimilarity? Options are A. Binary attributes, B. Ordinal attributes, C. Numeric attributes, D. Nominal attributes. Correct answer is numeric attribute. Distance measures such as Euclidean, Manhattan, etc. can be applied on numeric attributes to calculate dissimilarity. The values that separates the critical region from the acceptance region. It's called. Options are A. Critical value, B. Range value, C. Variance value, D. Hypothesis value. Correct answer is critical value. The value that separates the critical region from the acceptance region is called as the critical value. Thank you.